Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had The Magician's Apprentice, where the Doctor accidentally ended up on Skaro and met a kid who actually turned out to be Davros, and he didn't save him from dying. Thousands of years go by, Davros remembers, and actually still has the Doctor's sonic screwdriver. And Davros is dying. The Doctor is also apparently dying, as his last will and testament was sent to the Master, who is also back. The Master gets Clara. They go find the Doctor in Essex in medieval times. And then they go to where Davros is. It turns out they're on Skaro. The Daleks are there. It seems like Missy is dead, Clara is dead, the TARDIS has been destroyed, and the Doctor somehow went back in time and killed Davros as a child. So, yeah. It was a very, very, very crazy premiere, and I'm sure this episode is going to be just as insane. So, with that said, we might as well go ahead and get right into this episode of Doctor Who. Here we go.
Consider the Doctor. Doesn't matter which face he was wearing, they're all the Doctor to me. So let's give us the eyebrows.
But the Daleks!
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Should it be,
stockpile, say about 50 android assassins?
Okay.
I may be rounding up. 50 visitors.
exact moment he's supposed to disintegrate, he actually teleports.
Oh.
That's how you did it.
Ah.
That's how we escaped the Daleks.
That's how she does it.
Fire vortex manipulators, yes. Between us and him is everything the deadliest race in all of history can throw at us.
Oh, God.
We, on the other hand, have a pointy stick. How do we start?
We assume we're gonna win.
Oh, pity, really.
I was actually quite peckish.
Okay.
Can I have a stick too?
Make your own steak.
Okay. They'll tell me later. They'll tell me the whole thing with Davros later. I kind of wish they would put Michelle Gomez's name up there. They did for John Sim.
Help me. You must return to the infirmary. The Doctor is escaping. Find him. Find the Doctor. Find the Doctor. Seek, locate, destroy.
I wonder why.
Destroy. Save.
They actually seem concerned about Davros. Whoa. I love the mix they have. Oh. He took it.
Admit it. We've all had this exact nightmare.
Get me.
Damn, Doctor.
Daleks have sewers.
With one significant difference.
Being?
They're ever so slightly alive.
They're what?
Oh,
How much of a
shit.
drop would you say that is? Can you see the bottom?
Oh my gosh, this is taking me back, man.
We could chuck a stone down or something.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Duh. You bitch.
20 feet.
I love her.
Well, the real question is, where did I get the cup of tea?
Yeah.
Answer. I'm the Doctor. Just accept it.
Okay.
So what is it all then?
Decaying Daleks. Daleks can't die.
It's a graveyard.
Genetically hard word to keep on living, whatever happens.
Jesus.
The Dalek word for sewer is the same as their word for graveyard.
Huh. It's like the Paris catacombs.
Guess what? I just put a hole in you. And another.
Duh.
And another. You just got yourself a hunter in a bad neighborhood. Think the locals all wide and squelchy and out of their tiny minds. They can still smell. Nobody hates like a Dalek. Here they come.
Oh.
They want to steal your motor.
Oh.
You should feel privileged. The only other chair on Skaro.
Oh.
You lie there.
The chamber is sealed, and I believe you are
That's
not
funny.
carrying your sonic device.
Gave it up. Bad memories.
Huh.
I'm dying, Doctor.
Is he just done with the Sonic?
Not dying.
Ugh. Are you gonna get in?
Yeah.
Aw, shit.
I don't have much respect for
It's alright, Ian did that too.
Okay. As their hearts beat, so does mine.
Nice. Vampiring off your own creations just
Huh.
to eke out your days. I'm surprised that the Daleks allow it.
Oh, they have no choice. My Daleks are afflicted with a genetic defect.
Oh.
Respect. Mercy for their father.
Interesting.
Fine flaw.
And I didn't come here because I'm ashamed, but shame never hurt anyone. Because you're sick and you asked. And because sometimes, on a good day, if I try very hard, I'm the doctor.
The Doctor is the standard he holds himself to.
Control the unit, you just have to think. Novel idea for you, but let's try it.
Tuh. Okay.
I don't know how to. You see?
You just move.
Please don't, please!
So Clara is a Dalek again.
Fine, I think.
Fine, I think.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
Clara.
Tuh. It just says Dalek.
Clara Oswald.
Dalek. And Luigi Dalek.
Clara Oswald. I love you.
Exterminate.
What?
Cybermen suppress emotion. Daleks channel it through a gun. That's why they keep yelling exterminate. It's how they reload.
Tuh. Interesting.
So,
Yes, it kind of makes sense.
come on.
I would imagine they primarily channel their rage.
You are a Time Lord.
Time Lady. Thank you.
Yeah.
Some of us can afford the upgrade. Is it still the same old Supreme Dalek these days? I fought him once on the slopes of the Nevervault. Tell him the bitch is back.
Oh.
Make your confession. They didn't die. I brought them back. I found a way. Is this true?
Yeah.
Afraid. My most sincere congratulations.
I'm sorry?
I congratulate you.
Why are you saying that?
You're being weird
A
today.
man should have a race. Let me see your face with my own eyes.
It's like Vader.
Closer, please.
These real eyes.
Protect your own. As I have sought to protect mine.
It's his whole thing, protecting the Khalids.
A little bit of regeneration energy.
Really?
Probably cost me an arm or a leg somewhere down the line.
Oh god.
But I'll just be really little.
Look at that hand glow. Doc! I'm not sure about this. What if this was the plan?
Should be enough. Just to
God damn it. Oh shit.
No, Doctor, what have you done?
What's happening?
It's happening.
I have to find the doctor.
Yeah.
No.
Spoke of a hybrid creature. Two great warrior races forced together to create a warrior greater than either.
Oh, great.
Is that
We are more powerful. The experiment has succeeded. All praise Davros.
Oh. That's why they're so concerned about him.
What
Yeah.
was that?
Wait.
What's happening?
Suez.
Oh! The angry dead Daleks. Dead.
Generations of Daleks just woke up very close and they are coming up the pipes.
Oh.
Or to put it another way, let's hope they...
Oh my gosh.
Absolute pleasure to finally meet you.
Oh! Poke his eye. Bye.
Clara's dead, Doctor.
No.
This is the one that killed her.
You bitch.
Listen to her. Mercy! Mercy!
You shouldn't be able to say that.
Mercy!
That word shouldn't exist in your vocabulary. How did Davros teach you to say that?
Mercy!
Well, we've heard them say mercy.
Why aren't you trying to kill me?
Yay.
Oh, look at that. Now there's a surprise.
Yeah.
Hostile action dispersal system. I'll just give it a quick blast with my sonic and the real-time envelope will reassemble right here.
Doctor, you don't have your screwdriver.
Oh yeah. Unload the screwdrivers. They spoil the line of your jacket. These days I'm all about wearable technology.
Wait, what?
What is happening?
Oh my gosh.
Same old, just the Doctor and Clara Oswald in the TARDIS.
Whoa! Later.
You know what? I've just had a very clever idea.
Oh. Okay, we're not saving her.
I shouldn't have been able to say it. How did a tiny piece of mercy get into the DNA of the Daleks?
Oh.
Doctor?
This is how he did it.
Exterminate!
He destroyed all the hands.
I'll take you home.
Really?
Which side are you on? Are you the enemy?
The fouls.
So long as there's mercy. Always mercy.
This is how. I guess he's never heard a Dalek say mercy before. Yeah. Davros remembers. And he keeps the screwdriver. Woo! Oh boy. Oh man. Davros knows, Davros remembers. He remembers the mercy. I mean, you would think it was this incident that created Davros, but no. Everything else that happened with Davros, that's something else, you know? Sure, he turned into that man, but for one moment, he knew mercy. Okay, you know what? Okay. Ba-da-ba. There we go. Jesus, these aren't clean. Oh, these are old. These are actually a really old pair. Oh well. Screw it. They're also polarized, so now I can't see my monitors anymore. Oh well. I look stupid. Okay. That is okay. Can someone explain the titles of these episodes? The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar? I don't think I quite understand these episode titles, so Maybe y'all can help me with that. I don't know. So that was interesting. That was really interesting because, I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, why would Davros suddenly, want to, it's not that he's necessarily turning good, but as I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I guess this kind of makes sense. Okay, he's a man, on his deathbed and he's repenting, but no, it really is just like, it wasn't that. He still had an evil plan, and he was still going to live, which does make you wonder, so is he dead? Granted, the whole thing about these 2 episodes where it's like, oh, well, Davros is dying. Davros has died like 8 times, so I'll believe it when I see it, and even then, I won't believe it, I'm sure at any point in the future they could bring back Davros again to be like, well, we brought him back. Oh, well. So that's the thing. I don't fully believe that he's dead or anything, And I didn't fully believe that he was dying either, so meh. It was cool him actually like opening his own eyes, the eyes of a Khaled. Because that's the thing, he's a Khaled. He never became a Dalek, He is the last of the Khaleds, basically, I wish they would say it. I do kind of wish they would say that he is a Khaled. His people were the Khaleds. And, at the end there, when it's like, are you one of the enemy? It's like, you can say a Thal. You could just say that. You don't, it's no big deal that they don't, but I just kind of wish they would, I'm leaving these on, by the way. I've decided I'm leaving these on for the rest of the video, so... Which, it's kind of weird because every time I, turn my head, my monitors, keep, turning on and off because these are polarized lenses, So, that's real great. And my phone does that, too. So, this is fun. But yeah, so that was pretty interesting. And so I was actually kind of down with him, on his deathbed repenting, but it does make more sense that, well, no, it's not that he's repenting, it's that it was all a trap, but a trap that the Doctor purposely fell for so that he could negate it, which was interesting. Which is also why the Master wasn't more panicked about it, Because that has to be crazy, if she sees these Daleks starting to regenerate, So yeah. I don't know. It was all interesting how it worked out, So yeah, let's see. We can go ahead and hop right into the notes. The first thing I wrote down is invisible androids. Okay, so that whole thing was just a story, basically. That was just a story, and, the Master also said, it doesn't matter which of his faces it was, so we'll just go with this face, So, and I think they showed, Hartnell and everyone in there, so... maybe not everyone, but they showed a couple of his other actors there. So, that was interesting. And I like the whole thing of, well, the reason why he always wins is because he assumes he will win. And that basically assures him victory, Assume victory, and if you're that confident, you'll get it, basically. Oh, God. Excuse me. So yeah, so that was pretty cool, actually, And then that works into, them going through Skaro is that they have to assume victory. Assume that they'll win and they'll do it, So that was pretty cool. We had the chair. I like that. I like the Doctor wheeling around in Davros's chair. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I did really like that. I also like when they joke about, this is a great, it's a great honor for you. You should, be thankful. The only other chair on Skaro. It's like, yeah, I guess Skaro wouldn't have a lot of chairs. No Khaleds, no Thals. The only guy that needs a chair is Davros. So, Yeah, that is pretty interesting that they have a second chair there. And it was just a chair. So, I like that they joked about that. But yeah, that was really cool with just him using the chair and using all of its power, too, you know? So, I did like that. We had the sewers, which, you know, became the main thing of the episode, which was pretty cool. I have to say, man, when they first started talking about, oh, well, we have to go through the sewers of Skaro, man, that started taking me back to that first Dalek serial, man. Oh my gosh, just watching Ian and Barbara, you know, wander around in caves for 3 episodes. Oh my gosh, it took me back, honestly. It definitely took me back. So yeah, I did kind of like that, even if, you know, they weren't the same caves, and obviously it didn't take as long as in the original Dalek serial. But still, I like that. Excuse me. It definitely reminded me of the catacombs under Paris, where it's just like the catacombs that are just lined with the dead, you know? It's the same thing with Daleks, except a lot gooier, you know? Well, and also the fact that they're not dead. That was kind of interesting, too. That, you know, so basically the Daleks can't die of old age, basically, which is interesting. Like, you know, if you blow one up, yes, that one is dead, you know? Which we've had, at the very least, since the 9th Doctor episode, Dalek, you know? Daleks exploding, you know? So, while it's possible for Daleks to die, it's more that they have to be killed, basically. Which is pretty interesting. So yeah, that was pretty interesting, actually, that it's like, yeah, we need... basically, like, the Daleks down there are still alive. It also reminds me a bit of the Almost People, where, you know, they have, like, the mounds of the flesh, the discarded flesh, and they're all still alive, you know? So it kind of reminds me of that. And also, now it's interesting that, you know, these Daleks, this, you know, Dalek sludge, basically, that they're angry at the Daleks that are still alive. Like, I guess I can understand, like maybe they are thinking, like, okay, well, if there is a Dalek down there, you know, and, like, maybe they're thinking they want to try to get into it and become, you know, try to get back to what they were, try to take over a suit so that they can be a Dalek again. Maybe, but the whole thing of, you know, at the end where it's like, well, all the Daleks in your sewers just woke up and they are cross. It's like, I don't fully understand why, you know? It just seems like they would understand, like, well, we are of no use anymore, so we must be in the sewers. But, I don't know. It still works, but it's a little interesting. So, yeah. I wrote down life support and respect. So, yeah, we had the life support system, which the whole thing with the life support system, you know, was like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. Like, every Dalek on Skaro is, you know, keeping Davros alive. And the whole thing, okay, well, why would they do that? Why would they want to keep Davros alive? And he says it's out of respect, you know? It's out of respect that they do that, you know? Which kind of harkens back to, like, Asylum of the Daleks, where it's like, you know, oh, the Daleks find hatred beautiful, and then the one Dalek is like, that's probably why we've never been able to kill you, Doctor, you know? Which was a very interesting line, you know? And so here, they kind of play on that again. It's like, well, it's because they respect Davros. Okay, but here's where I started questioning this, because I was thinking, okay, if they respect, like, that, it doesn't quite make sense for them to respect Davros, because when we last saw Davros, it was in Journey's End. Well, and The Stolen Earth. It was both, technically. So, the whole thing about that, excuse me, accidentally cleared my throat a little there. The whole thing about that was that, you know, they said they locked him in the dungeon, basically, you know? They had him, they were using him, you know, to create more Daleks and stuff, but at the same time, they didn't like him. They thought him inferior because, like, well, yes, you are the creator of the Daleks, but you are not a Dalek. You are of an inferior species. You are Khaled, you know? You are not a Dalek. You are Khaled. You are inferior, and we are leaving you in the dungeons. But that's the thing, is that they did need him to do some stuff, you know, to make, you know, it was because of him that, you know, that those Daleks existed, including the Supreme Dalek, you know? And so, like, he recreated them from his own body, making them pure Daleks, but at the same time, he is Khaled, basically. I'm trying to, like, tap dance around the point here. So that's the thing, you know, and he even said in that episode, it's like, well, the Daleks and I have an arrangement, you know? The Daleks and I have an arrangement where they need me, they're keeping me alive, and I provide for them, but it's not like they're giving me, you know, it's not like I am, you know, a god or their father to them or anything. It's like, no, you are just kind of the lab rat, basically. So that was the interesting thing, you know. And he even says, too, it's like respect is a defect in the minds of a Dalek, you know, and he's never been able to get rid of that. But that just doesn't make sense. But then, oh god, excuse me. But then once you realize, okay, this was all a trick, you know, this was all to get the regeneration energy from the Doctor, then it all sort of works out. It's like, okay, well, it's not that they respect him, they just need him to get the regeneration energy, you know? So that's the thing. That's basically the thing, you know? So yeah. Let's see. I wrote down the Doctor. That was actually really interesting when, you know, he says, you know, I'm not the Doctor. I'm just some guy in a box. And I like the way he says it, you know, it's like, it's basically the Doctor, you know, he says it's the promise. He said this before, is that it's the promise he made. You know, never cruel nor cowardly, you know, never give up no matter what. And that's the thing, is that is the promise. But he himself technically isn't the Doctor, it's that he strives to be the Doctor, you know? His own name, basically, is what he strives to be. Now, granted, has he been the Doctor before? I feel like yes. I'm pretty sure, you know, it's this particular, you know, regeneration that's kind of down on himself a lot, you know? He's always kind of down on himself, especially last season. He was really down on himself, you know, questioning, am I a good man and stuff. So that's the thing, is especially this version, to him, the name, the Doctor, is the man he tries to be, you know? It's kind of like in Sherlock, where, you know, I don't think this is too spoilery, but it's kind of like in Sherlock, where, you know, they say, you know, John Watson kind of strives to be the man everyone thinks John Watson is. And yes, he does falter sometimes, and he is human, you know? And it's kind of the same thing with the Doctor, is that he strives to be the Doctor. But sometimes he can't. But sometimes he is, you know? It's just sort of a back and forth, you know? Yeah, something like that. I don't know. So that was interesting. Let's see. We got Dalek Clara. Man, that was a lot more traumatizing than when Ian did it. Because when Ian did it, he just got in and they pushed him. That's the thing, is they pushed him around, you know, and he just did the talking. But that was basically it, you know. Whereas with Clara, it's like the Master hooked her in there psychically. And that was kind of interesting too. Well, also because this, you know, this goes back to Asylum of the Daleks again, where, you know, that was the first time we met a version of Clara, when we met Oswin, and she was a girl that became a Dalek. So that was interesting, you know, just a nice callback to that. But yeah, it was really interesting, you know, just seeing I guess sort of getting into, well, first off, seeing how, like, the Daleks move, it's all psychic and stuff, which makes sense. Like, there's no actual controls in there, but that's how, the little squid dude actually controls these tanks, which is pretty cool. But then just the speech, that was also really interesting. And I like that, they kind of make an excuse for why the Daleks always, shout exterminate, is because they're shouting all these different things, but it all comes through the armor as exterminate. Granted, I don't think any of the Daleks are, running around saying, I love you. I don't think it's that. But it's also what Missy says where, they suppress emotion, basically. And part of that is sort of the speakers, the translator, I guess, is that there are some things that a Dalek cannot say, and it is instead replaced with exterminate, So that was really interesting, I did like that. Even though, yes, some of it, like, some of it, saying, like, well, okay, the coolest stuff when it was like, I am Clara Oswald, is translated to, I am a Dalek. Like, that's pretty cool. But then some of the stuff, yeah, like the line was like, say I love you. And she says it, but it comes out as exterminate. It's like, well, okay, I don't think any of the Daleks are running around screaming I love you, and it just comes out as exterminate, But yeah, that was still pretty cool. Anyway, I also like how she says, like, Daleks, a Dalek's emotions are channeled through into the gun, basically. Which, again, for an actual Dalek, for the most part, I think is going to be rage, It's mainly, their inner, rage that is channeled through into the gun. And, they know how to fire it, really well. They know how to perfectly harness their anger and channel it. Whereas Clara, just hopped into one of those things. Clara doesn't know. So, yeah, that was interesting. Okay. Man, I'm going on long tangents without taking too many breaths, so... let me take a second to catch my breath. Honestly, that's pretty sad. I can't just talk without losing my breath. Yeah. Says a lot about me. Well, and also my voice is getting a little scratchy just from talking, It happens. Here, I'll look over my glasses for you. Anyway, yeah, you can actually see my eyes. And now you can't. Kind of like Davros, honestly. This has been a very interesting discussion. What's with these episodes? Is this just going to be a thing? There's going to be some weird thing in these discussions for Series 9? Because last episode I was, messing with the bottle cap. I made sure not to have a bottle cap this time, by the way, so I wouldn't mess with it. But this time I'm wearing my sunglasses like a jackass, So, meh. Oh well. Let's see. Belong. That was interesting. When he started talking about it, it's like, oh, congratulations on finding the Time Lords and stuff. And it's like, okay, this seems very odd, This seems very weird for Davros to be saying this. But then when he says, like, do everything you can to keep them safe, a man deserves to belong, it probably does ring true to him because, yeah, he's kind of the last of his kind, Because all of his kind became the Daleks. Whereas, yes, he created them, they are his children, but they're not his species, He doesn't belong with them. I'm pretty sure they would get rid of him. They would get rid of him if they could, So, yeah, honestly, like all these years later when he's on his deathbed, it would make sense for him to, I don't want to say, like, completely repent and turn good or anything like that, but, like, it makes sense when he's like, no, I'm glad you found the Time Lords. Keep them safe, Because that's what he did. From the beginning, he's always, they said last episode, it's like, he did everything to keep the Khaled safe. But in doing so, they became the Daleks, So I did like that, even if, all of this was a ruse, but still. And then, sunrise. I wish to look at the sunrise with my own eyes. Very Darth Vader moment right there. But that was cool. I did like that. Again, even though this all turned out to be a ruse in the end, this was some really good stuff, I have to say, you know? With him actually being able to open his eyes and look at the Doctor and see the sunrise, like, that was pretty good, you know? That was pretty good, and that's the thing, is he has never seen the Doctor, well, other than when he was a child, you know? He has never seen the Doctor through his own eyes, basically, you know? But, yes, pretty much, with him supposedly, on death's door, but the last time he actually looked upon anything, let alone the Doctor, with his own eyes, with his own Khaled eyes, because he is the last of the Khaleds. So, that was pretty good. But, yes, this was all a ruse to get the regeneration energy, which was interesting. So, they were going to create a hybrid warrior, half Dalek, half Time Lord. Interesting, and, he said, like, oh, well, this is what you've been running from all this time, the prophecy, and it's like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, that part, that's kind of where, maybe I kind of loses me a bit. Even still, like, it's not bad, but it's like, oh, well, this was all a ruse, which, like, okay, I guess that, that still works, but then it's like, okay, they want the regeneration energy, they're going to become hybrid warriors. Interesting that the Daleks would be okay with that, but whatever. And it's like, oh, this was a prophecy all along, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? So, I don't know. It didn't really get anywhere, but it was kind of interesting. But yeah. And then I did like that the way to do that was, well, all the Daleks are getting this regeneration energy, including the Daleks that are in the sewers, and they are cross. So that was pretty cool, actually. That was actually really interesting, and obviously, the Doctor saying, like, oh, well, I meant for this to happen, this was my plan, actually, was to give you the regeneration energy, wake up all the Daleks in the sewers, and then there you go, So, I did like that. And then we had Mercy. That was an intense scene, and it makes sense that Missy would do that, which, all in all, I guess Missy didn't really do too much in these episodes. I mean, like, I don't know, like, I don't think you could, like, take her out and, you wouldn't lose anything. Like, I think she is still necessary to the story, but honestly, she didn't do as much as I thought she would do, But, I don't know, I still liked it. So, I like the Master as an anti-hero, even just for a little bit. Although I'm sure at some point she'll be the villain again. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back for the season finale. We'll have to see. But yeah, so the whole thing with the Master trying to get the Doctor to kill Clara, man, that was crazy. That was so fucked up. But it worked. It was really interesting. So yeah, I did like that, and I like that. The way. Okay, so the whole thing with Mercy. See, I was confused at first because I was like, well, wait, we've heard a Dalek say Mercy before. I'm remembering back to the Big Bang, where there was that one Dalek who didn't have enough power to kill River, and then River got her gun, and it begged for mercy, It's like, okay, well, we've heard that before. And it's like, well, wait, I guess the Doctor hasn't heard them say that before, The Doctor has never heard a Dalek say mercy before, and that is what reveals to him that it's Clara, He reveals that that's Clara, and then they get out of there, and the Doctor starts questioning, okay, how would they know, why would Davros know mercy? And then he realizes it, and then goes back and saves Davros as a kid, which was pretty cool. So, that was really interesting. I did like that. And yeah, just Missy, oh man. Missy being so evil. And now, okay, I need to look back at, there was one thing, like when Missy was surrounded by the Daleks, what was that about? She said something like a bargain or something. I'm gonna look at that again. There we go. Now I look like a total dumbass.
You know what? I just had a very clever idea.
And that's the last we see of her. So, I'm sure she got out of that somehow. And I'm sure that will come back to play somewhere. I was kind of thinking during that, it's like, you know, the last time the Master was surrounded by Daleks, the Master was, well, executed, you know? That's the beginning of the Doctor Who movie. So, yeah, that was interesting. And then, the last thing I wrote down, the sunglasses. So, because the Doctor has been without his sonic screwdriver for a little while, he's kind of gotten over it. He's like, you know what? I'm done with the sonic screwdriver. And I like how he says, like, it always, you know, it always ruins the lining of your jacket. And so instead, he created sonic sunglasses. And he used that to reform the TARDIS, which I like that. The TARDIS wasn't destroyed, but it sort of rephased itself somewhere else until eventually getting back to its normal shape. I really like that, too. So, but yeah. So, now granted, he went back and got Davros. And Davros was holding the sonic screwdriver, so did he just not take it back? Like, it kind of makes me wonder, like, are we going to lose the sonic screwdriver? Which, that's the thing is, you know, this particular version, this is the 11th Doctor's that he's had since the 11th hour. So, I've kind of been waiting, like, is the 12th Doctor going to get his own sonic screwdriver or not? It's like, is he going to use sonic sunglasses? I don't know. But yeah, but I don't know. They could easily come back next episode and have the sonic screwdriver again. But I do like him being creative and having sonic sunglasses now. So, yeah. But that's pretty much all I wrote down. This was a really great episode. I enjoyed it. Even everything, you know, where it's like, well, it was a ruse this whole time. It's like, even the stuff, you know, with Davros being a dying man repenting, you know, like, that was still pretty good. I still really enjoyed that. So, yeah, this was really great, and I am very excited to get into next episode. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Doctor Who reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.